Peter Jennings, let's cut to the chase. Is this announcement an admission of failure in relation to the future submarine project?
Well, it's an admission that the future submarine is taking a very, very long time to deliver, Peter. I understand first steel cut about 2 years from now and then 12 years on top of that to have a ship that's ready to go to war. I do not understand how it can take that long. But, you know, I knew from the minute that Malcolm Turnbull announced the preferred design of the ships a few years ago that we were going to have to upgrade the Collins class and that those submarines would actually be the pointy end of the deterrence spear for at least another 10 to 15 years.
I want to share one statistic with viewers at home that I think underscores the urgency on all of this. According to Defence, China already has between 60 and 70 submarines operating in the Indo-Pacific, and they could have around 75 submarines in the water by 2035. We're pretty badly exposed, aren't we, with these delays on the new subs?
Yes, we are. We are paying a heavy price for delays in terms of bringing the new submarine capability online. I think it's important to remember that the previous Labor government made no decisions about shipbuilding for about 6 years or so. And this particular design or this particular build of the new submarine is taking so long because of, I think, Peter, because of a very risk-averse culture to designing the boat. So what the upgrade of the Collins class is absolutely critical now. It needs to be proceeded with all due urgency. And those figures that you refer to just makes the point that whatever is going to happen in terms of security in the Indo-Pacific, it can't be Australia alone. This is only something we'll be able to deal with if we have the United States here in significant numbers, if we're working very closely with Japan and hopefully India. Australia alone with 6 subs or 12 subs, we are not going to be a match for the power that is being assembled in the People's Liberation Army Navy. And that's frankly just a reality of the power between the various countries.
When the coalition was elected in 2013, obviously I was there working for Tony Abbott. We were looking at a range of options for the submarines. I have to say the French build never struck me as one that you'd go with. We're taking a nuclear submarine and making it conventional. It's a bespoke build. It's already running way over budget and a long, long way behind schedule. There's a lot of argument out there that we sort of cut our losses. We scrap this contract with the French and we look at buying something off the shelf, or perhaps, you know, bravely bite the bullet and go nuclear. Are we up for it, do you think?
No, Peter, I don't think the government's going to be at the point of being able to make that decision. The first point to make is if we said, right, let's scrap it and start all over again, what we will have done is add another half decade at least to a new submarine acquisition. And basically every other alternative that's out there is just the goal that we haven't dated yet. We have yet to really understand what the problems of that particular boat would be. So I think that even though the government says it's looking at Plan B, what it will ultimately conclude is that the best thing it can do is make Plan A work and in the interim upgrade the Collins class to provide that stopgap. I would like us to look much more seriously at nuclear propulsion, Peter, and again, I'm not sure government will do this, but my preferred model for actually bringing some submarine capability on earlier would be to go to the French and say, look, let's build 2 nuclear-powered submarines for Australia in your yards in France. And then we could expect to get those perhaps 3 or 4 years earlier than the conventional ones we'll build here. But again, that's a really chunky move. I'm just not sure that an Australian government will be prepared to take that step quite yet.
I do laugh at the critics of nuclear energy or nuclear submarines in this case to say we haven't got the technical capability, we haven't got anywhere near the depth in our academic ranks, all the excuses why we can't do it. At the same time, when we're talking about climate change, we are a clever country that can embrace all this technology, yes. We can make all these things happen. They're not happening around the world. So it's one or the other. Just quickly, you sat down with Peter Dutton at an ASPI event yesterday. He's been in the job now for, 80 days? What mark do you give him so far?
I give him a high mark. What I like about Peter Dutton is that he's been used to making big decisions in Cabinet for years, and he's not scared to make decisions now. So he's moving fast on a range of fronts, and that's great to see after some perhaps capable but rather tentative ministers. I think Dutton is bringing energy to the job, which is exactly what's needed right now.